B segment crossover compact hatch, and today we have the Citroën C3, or should I say the Citroën for that French flair, because that's exactly what this car is. Although there is a lot to like about this car, there's just one thing I absolutely cannot stand, but we'll get to that a little bit later. For now, let's get to the updates. Number one of what's to like about the Citroën C3 has to be its exterior styling. It really is quirky, it's fresh, it's fun looking and quite modern, and it's something you wouldn't mind being seen in. But what is new has to be their bigger grille, and they also have new LED lights. Over on the side, this model gets 17-inch wheels, which I like this diamond cut because it fits the styling of this car. What has been added also are these electronic folding mirrors. I actually quite like that the Citroën C3 has these two-tone colors. They're quite vibrant and add to the funkiness of this car. Over in the rear, it gets new LED tail lamps, which I quite like the design of. I also like this design strip over here with the line detailing. I do feel like it gives that back more of a premium feel to it. The boot space in this car is actually quite adequate, very roomy. Now, this car also comes in two configurations. It is the 5-seater, which we have over here, but it also comes in a 7-seater configuration, which is actually the first of this segment's kind. What's to like on the inside of the cabin has to be the use of different materials as well as the contrast of colors. I think that really gives the car a bit of an upmarket feel. The seats are covered in cloth material. Again, you can see that contrast of color with the dark gray, the light gray, and that bronzish insert in the middle. But that's also the theme for the dash area. You have so many contrasting colors, but they really work well together. In front of me is your 7-inch updated screen that you get for your driver's information, but they also have a smaller sized steering wheel with controls on it. In the middle, you have your basic control vents, nothing to complain about there, but what is to complain about is the one USB port. It's not even a C-type. I do feel like they could have gained more from adding a C-type port. Over here is your armrest for the driver, but it does not have any center storage. So before we start driving, I wanted to show you the one thing I absolutely dislike about this car. And although they have done really well in masking the price of this car and making it feel more upmarket, it's not the case with the key. I absolutely despise this key because it screams low budget, it screams budget entry car, it screams I am very cheap, and it definitely will be something I'd want to hide. No. Alright, now that we have that little key issue out the way, we can continue with the things I like about this car. One of those being the price. It is competitively priced and it comes in at 344,000 Rand for the 5-seater and 355,000 Rand for the 7-seater. So 10,000 extra will give you more practicality, more roominess, more usability, which I think is a plus, and that is what I'd personally go for. So under the hood, you have a 1.2-liter 3-cylinder engine that's good for 81 kilowatts and 205 Newton meters of torque. Because this is a turbocharged engine and at 201 Newton meters of torque, it does give you extra power to play around with. And that 201 is actually more than what its competitors get. So that is something extra to actually like about this car. They have worked on the suspension, so it does feel more comfortable. It does take in those road adulations quite well. So I do think it is quite a comfortable ride. This is a 6-speed automatic gearbox, so when accelerating, this engine does feel a bit labored. Those gear changes come in a bit late, and I think the manual would be the pick to get in this car. Fuel efficiency is a big thing when thinking about a budget-friendly car, and this actually is an impressive 6.6 liters per 100 that I've been achieving so far, which is actually quite pleasant. I mean, I've been driving through city and highways, and I think it really has kept sort of that average just under 7 liters per 100. The newly designed Citroën C3 came into the market in 2022, and I think since then it's done really well. It even got an award for Global Urban Car of the Year in 2023, which I really think is a great achievement. I do think the option of bringing a 7-seater at that price point is an alluring and competitive buy, and I do think competitors really should be looking out for the Citroën C3. Welcome back to Ignition GT. Despite offering a diverse range of excellent cars, Citroën has struggled to make substantial inroads in the South African market. Will the recently reintroduced C3 Aircross be the car to change this? What were your impressions of the C3 upon seeing it and obviously just, getting into it and taking it on the road?
My first impression of the Aircross, because I looked at the spec sheet, 6-speed torque converter gearbox. That's what caught my eye.
Yeah.
Because as someone who personally works on cars, I've noticed stunning reliability with torque converter gearboxes, and this is where I just kind of like drop my hat.
Yeah.
Because I realized that they're actually trying to like dive deep into the market and actually offer products that are, I'd say, user-friendly. The Aircross was very user-friendly.
Yeah. What about you, Alan?
The thing about compact SUVs, crossover SUVs, call them what you want. You've got a defined shape.
That's true.
It's very difficult to be original or different within the parameters of what you've got to play with.
True.
And Citroën have always, this is the thing about Citroën, they've always been that bit different.
Yeah.
The French touch, the whole thing. And the little, even on this one, although it's not as prominent, the little squares you'll find here and there, the cues, even on the rear lights, for example, notice they're squares.
Yeah.
Now that was always on previous generations as well. They had those little squares on the doors even, those little bump pads and things like that. Now Citroën have always done that. So you've got that again on this one. So it doesn't take much to look at this car and know it's a Citroën.
Yeah.
If you know any cars, you'll see. So it is distinctive in its market.
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit about the driving impressions then.
Right.
How did it perform?
First of all, in that category, it's got the most powerful engine, 81 kilowatts, 205 Newton meters. So you've got better power than anything in its category.
Correct.
I'm not questioning the other forms of automatics.
Yeah.
But it's amazing how many people still torque converter.
Yep.
And they believe that. And this is pretty much the only one in this category that's offering a torque converter automatic.
That is actually true.
Yeah,
Yes.
and especially a 6-speed one.
Yeah.
So it's got a lot going for it. It really has. The other thing, of course, we haven't mentioned yet is the 7-seater option. They actually, at the launch, showed us that the positioning of the rear seat, middle seat, on the 7-seater version is actually moved slightly forward.
Oh.
So you actually have slightly more boot space in 5-seater format on the 7-seater version.
That's true. And talking about that, I mean, in that price bracket, there are so many options to choose from. That's really a segment that is very saturated. There are so many to choose from. How does this one stack up against, its closest rivals, would you say?
You know what I did after the launch, right? I went to a few people. I showed them the pictures that I'd taken. I showed them the spec sheet.
Yeah.
I didn't show them the price. And I said, guess the price.
Yeah.
Everybody was up in the 400,000 Rand region. And when I said it starts from 344, they're like, what? Wait, what?
Yeah.
And the 7-seater option is only like 10,000 Rand more. This car has everything you need. And even for the 200 millimeter ground clearance, it handles really well. It handles really well. It's comfortable at freeway speeds. The drive is really wafty.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, actually. I was surprised by how much I enjoyed about this car, and to a point where I thought, the second I start talking about it, people are going to start thinking I'm biased.
Yeah.
And I'm not.
So you would say you're looking at, you're looking what, the Kia, Sonnet, and the Venue.
You're looking at the
Phew,
Venue, the
VW.
Sonnet.
Yeah.
You're looking at Tiggo 4.
Yes.
Which, okay, the bottom models of Tiggo 4 come in a little bit cheaper, yes. But now compare spec and spec. And it's even, which is amazing, competing pretty much with the Tiggo 4 as an example. Yeah.
All right. Well, raving reviews from you guys. I think Stellantis will definitely be happy with you too.